Have you ever wished you had a magic wand? One little flick and poof, your arguments disappear, your boss finally understands you, family dinners become, well, enjoyable. While I can't offer you actual magic, I can give you something pretty close. The secret isn't about winning every argument or always being right, it's about communication. It's a skill, not a gift you're born with. You can learn, practice, and get really good at. This guide is your starting point. Simple, practical steps to make life easier, calmer, and more connected. At work, or explaining to your neighbor about their flamingo collection. Think about it. We spend so much of our lives interacting with other people. We want to be heard, to be understood, and to understand others. A breakdown in communication is like a traffic jam. Everything gets stuck. Frustration builds. Horns start honking. Metaphorically, I hope. But when lines of communication are open and flowing, things work better. Solve problems together. Build stronger friendships. Create a respectful work environment. This isn't about being a diplomat overnight. It's about simple rules of the road for everyday interactions. Straightforward advice, no jargon. Tools for everyday life with your partner, your kids, your coworkers, and that one disagreeing person. Make conversations more productive, less painful. Turn potential fights into connection. Make sure your good intentions actually land. Let's get started one kind word at a time. Small, consistent changes. Imagine building a bridge, not starting with suspension cables, starting with a single, solid foundation stone. Each tip is one of those stones. Lay them one by one to build a reliable bridge. A bridge strong enough for disagreements, misunderstandings, and human messiness. If there's one communication tip that rules them all, it's this one: listen first. I know, it sounds almost too simple, right? We all think we're good listeners. We hear sounds. Our brains process words. Done. But true listening is an active sport. It's a full-body experience. It's the art of making the other person feel like they are the only person in the room. This simple act is the ultimate sign of respect. It tells the other person, you matter. Your words matter. I am here to understand you, not just to wait for my turn to speak. When you truly listen, you gather crucial information. You would otherwise miss that if you were busy planning your brilliant comeback in your head. Turn your body toward the person speaking. Make gentle eye contact. Nod to show you're following along. Use small verbal cues, little encouragements, like,
I see. Go on. Tell me more.
These aren't interruptions, they are invitations to continue. Absorb their message fully, like a sponge. Don't rush to squeeze out a response. This creates a space of safety for honesty and vulnerability. Example: your friend comes, clearly upset, venting about a terrible day. Old, you might jump in. Oh, you think that's bad? Let me tell you about my day. New pro communicator, you does something different. Stop what you're doing, put your phone down, look at your friend and say, wow, that sounds incredibly frustrating. Tell me what happened. Don't offer advice, don't one-up their story, just listen. That shift validates feelings and makes them feel supported. Practicing this will feel unnatural at first, especially if you're a natural problem solver who loves to jump in. Your brain will scream, I have the answer, just let me talk. Your job is to quiet that voice. Remind yourself, understanding must come before advising. Give the gift of your undivided attention. You often give them exactly what they need, space to process out loud. More often than not, people will find their own solutions if you give them a safe harbor to think. True listening isn't passive. It's the most powerful, active thing you can do to build trust. And listen, so people feel truly seen. Ready for the steps? Let's do this. Once you've mastered the art of listening, it's finally your turn to speak. The words you choose have incredible power. They can build bridges or they can build walls. The key is to be both clear and kind. Say what you mean, but say it so the other person can actually hear. Try this instead. I feel overwhelmed and tired when I see the chores piling up. I would really appreciate it if we could figure out a way to share them more evenly. See the difference? First is an attack. Second is an invitation to solve it together. Honest about feelings without making the other the villain. Works everywhere, home, office. Instead of, you completely missed the deadline, try, I was concerned when the project wasn't submitted on time because it affects our team's next steps. Can we talk about what happened? That opens a door to talk about obstacles, solutions, instead of assigning blame. Using I statements helps you own your feelings and reactions. It says you're responsible for your emotions. Have you ever heard the saying, It's not what you said, it's how you said it. That's because your tone of voice is like the background music to your words. It sets the emotional stage for the entire conversation. You could be saying the most beautiful, loving words, but if they're delivered with a sarcastic, sharp tone, the music is telling a different story. And guess what? People almost always believe the music over the lyrics. Your tone can either invite someone into a conversation or push them away. A warm, calm, and steady voice acts as an instant de-escalator, signaling that you are here to connect, not to combat. Think about the different tones you can use. A loud, fast voice often signals anger or panic, putting the other person on high alert. A low, slow mumble can suggest disinterest or sadness. A high-pitched, squeaky tone might communicate anxiety. The ideal tone for a difficult conversation is your calm, neutral, I'm just ordering a coffee voice. It's steady, it's clear, and it's not loaded with accusation or aggression. If you feel your emotions starting to bubble up and your voice starting to rise, that is your cue to pause. Take a deep breath. You can even say, I need a moment. I can feel myself getting worked up, and I want to speak calmly. This is a sign of strength, not weakness. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're in a tense meeting at work, and a colleague presents an idea you strongly disagree with. You could jump in with a sharp, dismissive tone and say, that will never work. The music there is aggressive and shuts down collaboration. Instead, take a breath. Use a calm, even tone and say, I appreciate you sharing that. I see the goal you're aiming for, but I have some concerns about the execution. Could we explore another angle? The words are still direct, but the calm music makes it feel like a contribution to the discussion, not an attack on the person. Your calm tone keeps the space safe for everyone to think clearly. Your tone is a tool that you have complete control over. Before you enter a conversation that you know might be tricky, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you feeling tense? Is your jaw clenched? Are your shoulders up by your ears? Take a few slow, deep breaths to physically relax your body. Long before you even open your mouth, you are already communicating. Your body is constantly sending signals. This is your nonverbal language, and it can be even more powerful than your words. If you say, I'm open to your ideas, but you cross your arms tightly across your chest, turn your back slightly away, and frown, your body is shouting, no, I'm not. People will almost always believe what your body is telling them over your words. Aligning body language with your verbal message builds trust and clarity. So, what does open, welcoming body language look like? It starts with your posture. Try to sit in a relaxed, open way, or stand in a relaxed, open way. Uncross your arms, uncross your legs. This signals you're receptive, not closed off. Face the person you're talking to, show full attention, make soft, natural eye contact, not an intense, unblinking stare down. Family context. Imagine a serious talk about finances with your partner. Don't stand over them while they're watching TV. Avoid intimidating posture. Suggest you both sit down together. Sit on a couch, side by side, or sit at a comfortable angle, rather than directly across the table, which can feel like interrogation. As they speak, lean in slightly to show interest. Keep your hands relaxed in your lap or resting on the couch beside you, not clenched into fists. These adjustments create collaboration and safety. On the flip side, be aware of negative signals. Rolling your eyes, tapping your foot impatiently, constantly checking your phone, sighing dramatically. They silently scream, "You're boring me," or "You're an idiot." These actions can poison a conversation and break trust as quickly as harsh words. First step, become aware of your nonverbal habits. Great communicators are often great detectives. They ask the right questions to uncover the real story. Instead of assuming, they get curious. The best kinds of questions are open-ended. They can't be answered with yes or no. They invite thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Questions that start with what, how, can you tell me more about, are your best friends? They slow down the conversation in tense moments. They show genuine interest in the other person's world. Example, your neighbor is upset about barking. Closed question, is my dog bothering you? That yields yes, and the conversation stalls. Open question, can you tell me more about when the barking is the biggest problem? That invites specifics. You might learn it's 10 minutes in the morning when you leave. Now you have specific info to work with. Good questions turn confrontation into collaborative brainstorming. Tip 6. Offer simple, small solutions. After you have listened carefully, used I statements, managed your tone, and asked good questions, start building a path forward. Don't try to solve everything with one grand plan. Focus on small, manageable steps you can both agree on. Small wins build momentum and trust. They show commitment and progress. Back to the dog. You don't need to promise extremes. Suggest a small, concrete step. What if I gave him a puzzle toy before I leave? It might keep him occupied. Could we try that for a week and check in next Friday? The solution is specific, temporary, and includes a plan to follow up. It lowers pressure and shows willingness to try. A small win can lead to a bigger resolution and a happier neighbor. No matter how skilled a communicator you become, conflict is an unavoidable part of life, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Disagreements, when handled well, can lead to better understanding, deeper trust, creative solutions. The goal is not to avoid conflict, but to manage it constructively. It's about solving the problem without damaging the person or the relationship. The first and most crucial step when you feel a conversation tipping into a fight is to manage your own emotions. If you feel your face getting hot, your heart racing, and your mind going blank with anger, you are in what's called an amygdala hijack. Your rational brain has checked out, and your fight or flight instinct has taken over. In this state, nothing productive will happen. This is the moment to call for a strategic pause. This is not the same as storming out of the room and slamming the door. It's a calm, intentional break. I need to take 15 minutes to cool down, and then I promise we can come back and finish this conversation. This simple act can save you from saying or doing things you will later regret. During that break, don't just stew in your anger. Go for a walk, listen to some music, or splash some cold water on your face. Do whatever it takes to bring your heart rate down and re-engage your thinking brain. Once you're both calm enough to talk again, the next step is to set some ground rules for the conversation. You can even do this before a difficult topic comes up. Agreeing on a few basics creates a container of safety for the discussion. These rules can be simple. We will speak one at a time without interrupting. We will not raise our voices. We will not call each other names or use insults. By setting these rules together, you are both committing to a respectful process. This transforms the dynamic from a battle against each other into a partnership against the problem. With the rules in place, you can then focus on the core of the issue. A key technique here is to separate the problem from the person. For example, instead of saying, "You are so irresponsible with money," you can frame it as, "We seem to have different approaches to our budget, and it's causing stress. Let's look at the problem of our spending." This simple reframing takes the personal attack out of the equation and makes it a shared challenge to be solved. Then, try to find your shared goal. Ask, what do we both want here? Often, you'll find that beneath the surface level disagreement, you both want the same thing: peace, respect, financial security, a clean house. Finding that common ground is the first step toward building a solution together. State the problem, express your feelings, state what you need to move forward. Observation, feeling, and need a recipe to solve problems, not create them. The idea of fighting in a relationship sounds negative, but when we say fight fair, we're really talking about a set of rules for disagreeing respectfully. It's like having a referee in a sports game. The rules are there to make sure things don't get out of control and that nobody gets seriously hurt. These rules protect the emotional safety of both people and the long-term health of the relationship. They transform a potential cage match into a structured debate where the goal is resolution, not destruction. Adopting these rules means you are both committing to valuing the relationship more than you value winning a single argument. It's a powerful shift in mindset. First and foremost, the cardinal rule of fighting fair is an absolute ban on personal attacks. This means no name-calling, no insults, no mockery, and no swearing at the other person. The moment you call someone a name, you're an idiot. You have stopped discussing the issue and started attacking their character. This inflicts deep wounds that are hard to heal and immediately derails any chance of a productive conversation. The focus must always remain on the specific behavior or the problem at hand, not on labeling the person as fundamentally flawed. Stick to the facts and your feelings about those facts. Another crucial rule is to stay in the present. This means you don't get to bring up a greatest hits collection of every mistake the other person has ever made. This is called kitchen sinking, throwing everything but the kitchen sink into the argument. If you're arguing about who was supposed to take out the trash tonight, you don't get to bring up that time they were late for your cousin's wedding 5 years ago. This tactic is unfair because it's impossible to defend against. It overwhelms the conversation and turns a specific, solvable problem into a massive, unsolvable mess. Deal with one issue at a time. If other issues need to be discussed, schedule a separate time for them. Finally, fair fighting involves respecting physical and emotional space. This means no physical aggression of any kind, no pushing, no blocking doorways, no throwing things. While fair fighting rules help manage everyday disagreements, some words and actions are so damaging they warrant a different category deal breakers. These are the red lines. Once crossed, they can shatter trust and inflict wounds that may never fully heal. They go beyond a simple argument and strike at the core of a person's safety and self-worth. Being aware is crucial to avoid using them yourself and to recognize the severity if they're used against you. These are signs of a deeply unhealthy dynamic. Top verbal deal breakers. Absolute statements of contempt and rejection. Phrases like, "I hate you, I wish I'd never met you," emotional sledgehammers. In the heat of an argument, people might say things they don't mean, but these words can poison a relationship from the inside out. "You're worthless. You're a complete failure," meant to dehumanize and crush spirit. These aren't frustration, they're verbal violence. They say the person is fundamentally bad, not just wrong. Another major red line, threats. Threats of physical harm. Threats to abandon the person or the relationship. "If you do that, I'm leaving you." Threats to harm oneself, to manipulate. Threats are tools of control and terror. They destroy safety and turn the relationship into a hostage situation. No healthy, open conversation can happen when fear of a threat hangs in the air. Equally damaging, chronic, intentional dishonesty. A small white lie might be forgivable, but a pattern of lying about significant things, money, fidelity, major life events, erodes the foundation, trust. The impact is immediate and severe. It's not a simple disagreement, fixable with an apology. The targeted person often feels shock, betrayal, emotional injury. Healing requires more than time. It requires serious acknowledgement of harm and a profound commitment to change. Often, professional help from a therapist or counselor is needed, and sometimes the healthiest choice is to end the relationship to protect one's own safety and well-being. Calm. We've covered a lot of ground, from the power of listening to the danger of deal breakers. Now it's time to bring it all together and think about how you can make these skills a part of your daily life. Becoming a better communicator isn't about memorizing 100 rules. It's about cultivating a mindset of curiosity, kindness, and respect. It's about remembering that behind every conversation is another human being with their own hopes, fears, and struggles. The goal is connection, not conquest. And like any other skill, it gets easier and more natural with consistent practice. You don't become a great basketball player by reading a book about it. You go out and shoot hoops. Start small. Don't try to implement all 6 tips in your next high-stakes argument. Pick one thing to focus on for a week. This week, you could decide to focus solely on listening. In every conversation you have, make a conscious effort to let the other person finish completely before you formulate your response. The next week, you could practice using I statements. Try rephrasing any you accusations that pop into your head before they come out of your mouth. Notice how these small changes affect your interactions. You might be surprised at how quickly you see a positive response from the people around you. Remember to be kind to yourself in this process. You will mess up. You will get angry and say the wrong thing. You will forget to listen. You will use a sharp tone. When that happens, don't beat yourself up. The goal is progress, not perfection. The mark of a great communicator isn't that they never make mistakes. It's that they know how to apologize sincerely and repair the connection. A simple, "I'm sorry, I didn't handle that well. Can I try again?" It shows humility and a genuine desire to get it right. Ultimately, good communication is an act of generosity. You are giving someone your attention, your respect, and your willingness to understand. You are creating a space where it is safe for both of you to be honest and vulnerable. This journey will reduce your stress, deepen your relationships, and make navigating the world a whole lot easier. So try one of these tips today, just one. Listen a little more closely to a friend. Use one I message with your partner. Notice your tone of voice on your next phone call. These small acts of intentional communication are the seeds from which a more peaceful and connected life will grow. Thanks for reading. If you found this useful, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe for more useful and sometimes random content. Have a great day, everyone.